Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to one more lecture in Formation of Steam chapter in Applied Thermal Engineering subject for 5th semester diploma. In the previous classes, we have seen how the steam is formed at constant pressure. Then we have also discussed about the different terms, different types of steams, that is dry steam, wet steam and superheated steam. Along with that, we have gone through the different definitions like sensible heat, then latent heat, dryness fraction, enthalpy of degree of superheat, enthalpy of water. In that enthalpy of water we have seen enthalpy of dry steam, enthalpy of wet steam and enthalpy of superheated steam in the previous class. So in today's class we will take few more terms related to the formation of steam. So first term we are going to discuss here is known as specific volume of steam. So what do you mean by this specific volume of steam? It is the volume occupied by the steam per unit mass at a given temperature and pressure. So whichever type of steam you are going to consider. Suppose if I consider dry steam for that, then if I consider wet steam and superheated steam, the volume occupied by that type of steam at a given pressure and temperature is known as specific volume of steam. It is represented by the symbol Vg and it is expressed in terms of meter cube per kg. So we are expressing in terms of meter cube per kg. Then it is also a reciprocal of density. That is, it is a reciprocal of density and its unit is kg per meter cube. Then let us see for the first case, that is for wet steam. So specific volume of wet steam. So let me consider 1 kg of wet steam and it has a dryness fraction of x. When it has a dryness fraction of x, then what will happen? 1 minus x kg of water is present in the steam. Therefore, the volume of 1 kg of wet steam is given by x into Vg plus 1 minus x into Vf. I repeat, x into Vg plus 1 minus x into Vf. So what is Vg and Vf? We will see the terms now. Where Vg is nothing but volume of 1 kg of water and Vf is very small compared to Vg. So therefore we neglect this term. Therefore we can write this as x into Vg. That much meter cube of wet steam is present. That is x into Vg meter cube of steam. Therefore I can write this as specific volume of wet steam is x into Vg. That is meter cube per kg. Per kg I am going to find out. So therefore when I am finding it per kg, it becomes specific volume. So it is x into Vg meter cube. So next we are taking it for dry steam. So dry steam has a dryness fraction of x. So therefore specific volume of dry steam is just Vg. I repeat, the specific volume of dry steam is Vg meter cube per kg because x is 1. Then the third case is for superheated steam. When the dry steam is heated at a constant pressure, volume and temperature of the steam gets increased. So its volume and temperature increases. When the volume and temperature increases, then I need to use the PVT relationships and find out the relation for superheated steam. That is, the superheated steam behaves like a perfect gas. So when it is behaving like a perfect gas, we will use Charles' law. So therefore, according to Charles' law, I can write the equation as V soup divided by T soup is equal to Vg by T sat. I repeat, V soup by T soup is equal to Vg by T sat when P is constant. This T sat is saturation temperature corresponding to Vg. So therefore I can write the answer as V superheated will be equal to Vg into T soup divided by T sat meter cube per second. Where V soup is the specific volume of superheated steam Then Vg is the specific volume of dry steam at a pressure of steam formation. So whatever pressure I am taking for formation of steam, at that pressure. Then T sup is absolute temperature of superheated steam, and T saturated is absolute temperature of this dry saturated steam. The next term we are going to discuss is external work done during evaporation. So what is the amount of work done during this evaporation? Right, externally, that is outside. When water is heated at boiling temperature, that is saturation temperature, at a constant pressure, water is converted into steam by absorbing the latent heat. So when it absorbs this latent heat, and then what it does, it is converted into steam. This latent heat is used for two purposes. So what are the two purposes where we are using this latent heat? Let us see that. The first purpose, to overcome the internal molecular resistance of water. So internal molecular resistance जो कुछ रहता है उसको overcome करने के लिए we are using this for changing its state from saturated water into dry saturated steam. So it is converting from one state to another state, that is from liquid state to gaseous state. This effect is known as internal work or internal latent work, latent heat. It is known as internal work or internal latent heat. Then the second case for what we are using, to overcome this external resistance of piston movement due to increase in volume during evaporation. So when there is evaporation taking place, there is increase in the volume and the piston moves. To overcome this resistance, this is known as external work of evaporation. This is known as what? External work of evaporation. That is, work done during evaporation is given by W equal to P into Vg minus Vf. P is in bar, so we are converting into Newton per meter square. So we are multiplying it by 10 to the power 5. It becomes Newton per meter square into Vg minus Vf. So unit will be joules. And when you are writing it in kilojoules, so divided by 10 to the power 3 to this, it becomes 100 into P in the bracket Vg minus Vf into, it is in kilojoules. So Vg is specific volume of dry saturated steam. This is specific volume of liquid. So when I subtract this, I multiply it by P, you get what is work. P into dV gives me work. That is, I can write it as 100 into P into Vg, because Vf is very, very small. Therefore, I am neglecting the value of Vf. So the equation will be 100 P Vg and the unit will be kilojoules. That is the work, external work of evaporation. Now let us consider this external work of evaporation for the two types of steam, that is dry steam and wet steam. So first, if I consider it for wet steam, if the steam is not completely dry, then I can write the equation as W equal to 100 P into X into Vg. So I am multiplying X. X is nothing but dryness fraction. That will give me the work done by this wet steam. Then second case, if the steam is superheated, then I can write the equation as W equal to 100 P into V sup for superheated steam. And if it is dry steam, W equal to 100 P into Vg. That will be for dry steam. So for dry steam it is 100 P into Vg. For wet steam it is 100 Px into Vg. And for superheated steam it is 100 P into V sup. These are the three equations which I am using to calculate external work of evaporation. Then the next term is known as internal energy of steam. So what is this internal energy of steam? It can be defined as the actual heat energy stored in the steam. So whatever energy is stored in the steam is known as internal energy above the freezing point of water, or it is the difference between enthalpy and external work of evaporation. So how to find out this external work? You are finding it by this equation, that is enthalpy minus external work of evaporation. So when I subtract this, I'll get what is known as internal energy. That is, internal energy of steam is given by enthalpy minus external work of evaporation. Enthalpy minus external work of evaporation. So let us take for these three cases again. First case, for wet steam, the internal energy of wet steam is U equal to H minus 100 into Px Vg. So 100 Px into Vg is nothing but external work. H is the enthalpy of wet steam, that is HF plus XHFG. That is what I am writing next. H is nothing but HF plus XHFG minus 100 into P into X into Vg. The unit will be kilojoules per kg. I am finding it per kg. Next, for dry steam. So for dry steam, it will be internal energy U per kg will be equal to, so it will be equal to U equal to Hg minus 100 into P Vg. Hg is the enthalpy of dry steam, that is HF plus HFG, and 100 PVg is nothing but external work of evaporation of dry saturated steam. So Hg minus 100 PVg gives me the internal energy of dry steam. Then for superheated steam, internal energy for superheated steam will be U equal to H soup minus 100 P into V soup. So what is the value of H soup? It is Hg plus Cps into bracket T soup minus T sat minus 100 P into V soup. Gives me what is known as enthalpy of superheated steam. Therefore, I can write that equation as Hg is nothing but HF plus HFG plus Cps, we know, specific heat at constant pressure of superheated steam, minus T soup, that is temperature of superheated steam, minus saturation temperature, minus of 100 into P into V soup. The unit is again kilojoules per kg. So in the next class, we will see the entropy of steam and then steam table. Thank you.